big component of the whole Razor Maths program is how we interact with the YouTube classes being presented every week. And there's a specific Google form sent out to all the students as well as the parents that need to be completed so that I know and you know exactly what the strategy is behind the weekly classes and the weekly exercises that I sent out accordingly. So this form has got a few different components, but just to take you through a few of them, and the most important one really is how to interact with the weekly exercise, the weekly practice question, and then the weekly class on YouTube. Now, basically two things can happen once the student receives the question at the beginning of the week. First of all, they could get it right, or at least get an answer for the question. So they can look at it and say, I know what to do here, and that's exactly what they attempt to do. But, and this is important, they should wait for the etutor class and then mark it themselves. Don't send it to me before the class has been presented, even if they believe they are right. It is still important that they attend the class and mark it in the class or while the class is running. If the question is indeed 100% correct, then it can be submitted to me throughout the week, after the class, anytime before Fridays at 5. The second thing that could happen is that they may have self-sufficient or have sufficient self-confidence to start with the question, but they may not be sure whether it is correct, or maybe they just simply don't know what to do or even where to begin with the question. Then, more importantly than anything else, they must view this etutor class and attempt to pinpoint where they didn't know something. What was required for them to be able to do that question in the first place? Now, after the class, they should then try again. Preferably, don't just write it down while I'm teaching. Afterwards, try it again and submit the answer then to me with a request for it to be marked. But, and this is also important, there must still be enough time before Friday 5 o'clock for us to talk back and forth about that. Because I might find something in their attempt that I need to bring under their attention, or a question that I want to ask them so that I can actually answer another question on my part. So this needs to be done with enough time before a Friday at 5 o'clock. Now, the etutor class is important because it gives an audiovisual reference for the explanations of the techniques, the concepts, and the question in general. I say a lot in these etutor classes, which is very important for the students to hear, which is also why I want them to still attend the class, even if they know that they've done the question 100% right. Now, it doesn't make sense for me to record a video of the question and then to do it again when I present the class. So therefore, the children must manage their time for answering the questions so that they can use the etutor class as a video explanation or a video memorandum with a follow-up on WhatsApp if necessary for text and voice notes. And just all of this needs to be complete by Friday at 5 o'clock. Now, the attendance register, obviously, for my classes are very important. And the way I do that is by making sure that the students, or I expect the students, to just sign in on the class. At the YouTube screen, when they log into the etutor class, on the screen, there is a place for comments and questions. And I expect from my students to sign in there with saying, "Hi, John is here," so that I just know that they are actually in the class. That will serve as my attendance register. But now it could happen that the time of the class that I've scheduled clashes with something else where the kids must be or are involved in. Please note, just notify me beforehand of that, not after the fact, before the class. Let me know that the specific student will not be in the class so that I can give priority to the conversion of that video recording of that specific class. Remember, I present a minimum of 22 classes a week. Every one of those 22 classes need to be converted into an interactive video. And if I know a student didn't attend a class because it clashed with something else where they had to be, I can give priority to that specific video conversions so that I can give it out to them as quickly as possible so that we can still maintain the deadline of a Friday. Now, feedback also is very important because for the sake of customer service, it is important that I know what works and what doesn't for both the student and the parents. So for every class, there will be a link to a Google form for feedback that will come in the Google app. It will come on the calendar on the web page, and it will also be provided to them wherever I possibly can, on WhatsApp or whatever the case might be. Please fill in that form after the classes so that I can get some feedback. And then when I do present the students with a video of the class, or any other video for that matter, this exact same form is also provided at the end of the video. Please also fill it in. It's to receive feedback about what you think, what you feel is good, what you feel is bad, what can be improved upon, etc., etc. So the feedback forms are very important. Please fill them in as many times as you possibly can. Anytime when there's something to say, even if you just want to say thank you, well done, that also helps to hear. And then some things that I've picked up in general. Outstanding answers on the questions from the children, or outstanding requests for videos, worksheets, or assistance on WhatsApp. Maybe they've asked me a question, they sent me a question, they put in a request for something, and now it looks like I've forgotten about it. Please note, I handle a huge volume of WhatsApp messages daily. So it is quite possible that I will miss something here and there. It's quite possible. Please do not accept that it is fine to sit and wait for it. Keep on reminding me about it. I really do not mind. I really don't. In fact, I prefer that there is a constant involvement with me because it indicates responsibility, discipline, and interest. I really don't mind being harassed for things that I need to deliver on. Each child also has a web page. I've referred to that earlier with the feedback form. There's a web page for every one of the learners, and on that web page there is a calendar, and we also obviously use the Google Calendar app, but the calendar on the web page have got physical calendars there on which I indicate the assignments and the due dates for each task. I also use these calendars for my planning for tests that are going to be written. So please ensure that I have indeed indicated the dates of upcoming tests on your calendar. Double check me. Make sure that there are dates on the calendar for your tests. Every one of the students have got different times that they write tests on. Make sure that those dates are actually indicated on the calendar so that we can use that as planning. And also remember that the etutor classes, the YouTube classes, are broadcast live. It means that there will only be something happening on the screen when the classes are physically being presented. Outside of the class times, the stream is offline and it will look like nothing is working. But there's a difference between the etutor class, which is a live broadcast, and the videos that I present afterwards of the various topics, whether it's the class itself or other topics that I've covered. When I present a video, that is available anytime. It is not restricted to a specific viewing time. You can watch it anytime, as often as you like. Then I just want to talk about the contract. This is the third component of the Razor Maths program. Between myself and the student, I want us to have a contract to achieve a specific target mark. And you'll see there, the student needs to fill it in. I would like to achieve something % for mathematics. That is then an undertaking that we will do whatever needs to be done to try and achieve this. And it needs to be signed by the learner as well as the parent. Now, this contract basically requires of the student the following as a minimum: to complete all the tasks given to me at the deadline specified. So obviously now from the perspective of the student. Make sure to attend all the etutor classes or as quickly as possible thereafter. Watch the video recordings and submit the weekly practice questions in time. Make sure to pass on test dates and test results as soon as it is received. And then the most important of all, learn to ask questions on the WhatsApp small groups and get yourself skilled to understand that the secret to success in mathematics lies in asking questions. That is so important that I want to repeat that. The secret to success in mathematics lies in asking questions. Please make sure to understand that, and then just take a photograph of the signed contract and send it through to me so that I've got it on record purposes.